How to cleanse, rid, and purify your sacred area using the 5 elements. I'm going to walk you through my ritual, and I'll explain how each item that I use incorporates the 5 elements. So first, I'm going to explain what each element represents before I get into what material I use. So I always start with air. Air is for communication and the power of the mind, also communicating with the angelic realm. I have notes here as well, so if you see me looking down, it's because I don't want to miss any important detail because it's a routine. So first and foremost, before I cleanse and purify my sacred space, I like to make sure that mentally I'm in a meditative state. So I like to focus on my breath and just kind of gather my thoughts and then place my intention on what exactly I want to rid my sacred space from. So, for example, say if you have somebody over and their energy was just a little iffy, you know, just focus on your breath and you just say, all right, before I light my sage or before I start to cleanse, I want to rid any type of negative thought or intention that this person brought into my sacred space. And then I'll start with sealing my windows, closing my blinds, closing all my doors, and kind of locking the energy in the room. First thing I do is I grab my sage. White sage is a very powerful regimen to neutralize your area. It's a neutralizer. It doesn't only get rid of negative energy but also positive energy, and it neutralizes it for you to place your intention. It's kind of like a blank canvas. When you burn your sage, it starts it off as a blank canvas. It wipes away anything, any intention, any energy in that room so that you can then place your intention of what you want to reside in your sacred space. So sage, you're going to hold the back of it. You can tell this is used often. It's barely here. It's gone, almost gone. I use it almost every day. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your lighter, right? You're going to burn the end of it. You're going to hold it there until it catches flame. You're going to blow it out. And in this motion, you're going to go from the top to the bottom, like from the roof to the ground, to the floor. In each corner of the room, in the middle of the room, you're going to place your intention. Like, I remove and rid any negative low vibrating frequency. I banish anything, any energy that does not serve me from my sacred space, from my area. You can also do this in your car. I used to travel a lot, going back and forth to work, and if I knew like these customers are like would get to me, I didn't want to carry that energy home, I would cleanse my aura, light the sage and cleanse my aura, and then cleanse my car, right? So after you light your sage, you're going to let the smoke and smog collect in the room, and that smog is supposed to banish any energy from the corners of your room. You want to make sure it collects so that it can get rid of anything that's inside of your room. After the smog sat in the area, whether that's your car, your office, your room, your home, you're going to then open up your blinds, open up your doors, and let those energies leave. After you burn your sage, you're then going to burn your Palo Santo. Palo Santo is a holy wood from Mexico, and what this does is it promotes the positive energy and also places the intention that you want to reside in that room or that sacred space. So with Palo Santo, you want to make sure that your windows and doors are open. You want to make sure that your angelic beings, your ascended masters, your ancestors are able to be welcomed back into the room. So again, in a meditative state, you're going to light your Palo Santo the same way that sage is burned, the same way Palo Santo is burned. Because it's a wood, you're going to let it burn a little longer, depending on how much you want to, how much you want to burn. You're going to blow it out, and in that same motion from the ceiling to the floor, you're going to go around the room and you're going to fill the void that you just emptied with the sage. You're going to fill the void with positive intention. It's kind of like planting a seed. You have blank clean soil. Now you got to add your compost. You're going to allow that energy to promote that positivity so that you can grow, or you can have that energy to resonate with you in your sacred space. So I want to welcome in abundance and prosperity, love, tranquility, serene state of mind. You want to use that. You want to place those intentions with your Palo Santo. Because anytime you eliminate something, you have a void. And you want to make sure that instead of leaving that void empty for anything to inhabit it, you want to make sure that you're placing a positive intention. And I'll elaborate on that later on in other videos. So another thing I just realized I forgot to mention is after you burn your sage and Palo Santo, you can then burn an incense. I like to burn patchouli incense. Patchouli is a prosperity incense. It's an incense that helps with your with motivating you to like get rid of stagnant energy. It's also to help you stay at a positive mindset. So you could burn an incense that resonates with you in your journey. So after I finish with my communication with my angelic ancestors and whatnot, with cleansing on a mental and logical aspect, I then do my fire element, and that's with my candles. So candle work is very essential. This is not like a ritual candle. This is just a basic candle. I use all of my ritual candles, but since this is the only one I have at the moment, usually I'll burn like yellow candles or candles with like a yellow, this is like glass with a yellow candle holder for like my for my sacral chakra, and also to help like success or promoting like confidence. So with your candles, you want to take off all the factory labels. You want to clean the outside of the glass, wipe it down. Then you want to make sure that you sage your candles. You cleanse your candles with your sage in your Palo Santo. What you're going to do is you're going to meditate over your candle before you light it. So you're going to then place your intention in the candle. You're going to take your candle and as you meditate on it, you're going to say like, I want this candle to help me have energy to keep up with my daily task. I'm placing the intention of positivity. You're going to place your intention. When you burn your candle, it's kind of like lighting the fire to signify that that energy is being used, is being worked towards. That it's that energy that you place in the intention is coming to the forefront, is coming to fruition. As that candle burns out, that's your intention being burnt out. If you're gonna do a protection candle, you want to use a black candle. If you want to do a candle for banishing negative spirits, you're going to use a black candle. Each candle, and I'll do a video on that as well, each candle, each color of a candle signifies a certain energy. So for cleansing, you can use white or black. I use black for cleansing and banishing because that's the most potent, that has the most potent frequency. Moving on. Now, another thing that I do with cleansing, I use my water element. Water is for your emotions. It's also for purifying, protection, and healing. Florida water. I don't know if you can see this. Hopefully you can. You can get this on Amazon. You can get this at your local Botanica. You can go, I think even Walmart, sometimes even CVS at certain places will sell Florida water. Florida water is a holy water, but it's really like a cologne. It has a nice scent to it. It's used to help cleanse your area from any low vibrating frequencies, any negative energy. I personally put this in a spritz bottle because where I'm at right now, I can't just burn sage all the time. Palo Santo has alcohol in it, so the smell stays and then it goes away through time. But I take a spritz bottle and I'll spritz the room. If you are working with like a very heavy energy, like a very hard, if you're working with like soul ties and soul bonds, or you're dealing with like a very strong spirit, you want to add like a cap full of ammonia, because stronger entities or principalities that are hard to banish, they can't deal with the smell of ammonia. So you could wipe down your windowsills, your doorways, and you could put it in a spritz bottle. You can vacuum up. If you have carpet, you can spritz it on the carpet and vacuum it up. Make sure that you take the bag and dispose of it off of the premises of your home. If you have wood floors or if you have tile, you can mop your floor with ammonia and Florida water. Sorry, I'm just listening out because it's late. I don't want to wake anybody up. Alright, so if you don't have Florida water, that's okay. You can make your own. There's a lot of DIY videos that you can do, that you can look up. I might even make a video of my own, because there is times where I do make my own oils and I do make my own Florida water. That might be another good video to incorporate with the channel. If you don't have Florida water, that's okay. You could take regular water. I like to use storm water. I like to wait until it rains outside because I feel like water is the nectar of the earth. So I take the water from, rather, that could be snow, depending on what you're trying to do. Like, I'm trying to get rid of energy. So with the ridding, I like to use storm water because I feel like it's fast paced. The energy is more potent because it came from the earth itself. So I'll collect rainwater and I'll meditate over the water, and I'll put a crystal in the water, and I'll place that intention, like anyone or any energy that walks in this room will be trapped in this water, and I'll freshen the water as frequently as I choose to. So now, earth, I use my crystals. Earth is for grounding, nurturing. It's also like for like that femininity. This is the universal stone. This is your clear quartz. Clear quartz, they say universal because it can be programmed to have any principle, any like a healing principle from any crystal. So if you don't have like black tourmaline or obsidian, you could meditate with your clear quartz and have it pick up the frequency of whatever crystal that you don't physically have. So I have a ton of clear quartz. So again, you want to make sure that your crystals are cleansed. Certain crystals can have different ways to be cleansed, but the best way, in my opinion, to cleanse your crystals is doing it during the full moon, sitting them out during the full moon light, letting it beam and purify your crystals. If you don't have, if you need to cleanse your crystals right away, clear quartz can be run under water, or you can also sage, because sage is safer, because depending on each crystal, it has a certain way that it needs to be taken care of, just like anything. Another crystal that's great for cleansing the energy in the room is citrine. When you say citrine, think of a lemon or an orange, like vitamin C, right? It has the cleansing property. Citrine, you can even sit next to your other crystals and it will cleanse your other crystals. It has cleansing properties. So citrine is also a success stone. So it also promotes prosperity and creativity. So I use citrine to help cleanse the room, neutralize my space, rid it from any negativity. Citrine cleanses itself. It's the only crystal known to cleanse itself, you know. So, and other crystals add that as well. Another crystal that I use, again for the earth element, is black tourmaline. Black tourmaline also protects us from radioactive waves. It protects us from Wi-Fi. So you can get like a big cube of black tourmaline and put it by like your phone at nighttime, or put it under your pillow. Like my daughter has one under her pillow for any radiation, because you can't help like what neighbors have Wi-Fi and whatnot. So to protect yourself from any radioactive waves, any frequencies, black tourmaline is like the go-to. Now, the fifth element, the most important, is spirit. And that's your intention, praying in each room, placing an intention in each room, talking life into, talking life into each corner of your room to seal your room from any negative energy being able to enter. You know, saying like, my ancestors are protecting me, my ancestors keep me grounded, my ancestors are like, you know, whatever spiritual belief you have. So for me, I say like my ancestors, my ascended masters, I pray that they protect me and my family. I pray over my children. I use oil. I anoint myself and my children when they go to sleep, to make sure that they're protected energetically, and also to promote, you know, my intention back into my space. So anyway, with that being said, just want to make sure that everyone knows that it's important to constantly cleanse your aura, cleanse your space. If you don't have Florida water, sage, if you don't have crystals, make sure that you at least, even if it's olive oil, anoint yourself, you know, anoint yourself, pat yourself down and pray over yourself, because your mind is the most powerful tool. Your mind alone is the author of your experience. So as long as your mind and your spirit and your soul is covered with positive intention and affirmations, know that your sacred space will reflect that. So you have to know that thoughts become things, and your mind is the most powerful tool of protection. So yeah, that's all. Until next time, I'm happy I got this video done. Yes.